Anime's biggest popularity contest is just around the corner, and the 2024 edition seems to be pretty much the same old song. Look, this is what happens when you let the masses decide. I mean, can you imagine what the Oscars would be like if they allowed online voting? It'd be a madhouse. Anyways, we already know who's gonna win the Crunchyroll Awards, but in this video we're gonna talk about who should win the Crunchyroll Awards, and we're not gonna go through every single one, just the heavy hitters and some of those I'm really familiar with. And remember, if you got anything to say, whether you agree with me or not, please feel free to leave them in the comments. And if there's anything else, alrighty, let's begin. So we all know Anya is running away with this thing and it won't even be close, but there are some interesting other choices here like Boji, who would deserve it if we were talking about the first season because the kid can definitely hold his own now. Bochi, however, needs less protection, and the same probably goes for Suletta. Now I don't know about Miri because I haven't seen Buddy Daddies yet, but while that could be true, I know Pochita deserves the most protection at all costs, and the reason is simple. Just look at him. Aren't you the cutest little thing? Yes you are. Yes you are. Look, if you've seen the first episode or read the first chapters of Chainsaw Man, then you already know what happens to him, and that alone should also be enough reason why he definitely deserves all the care and protection in the world. The fact that we have two JJK characters and neither of them includes Toto is already a travesty in my opinion, but you know what? It wouldn't matter because Gojo's taking this thing no matter what. The snow white-haired, blue-eyed sorcerer captivates the hearts of every lady weeb out there, and some guys out there I'm sure. But what I think is hilarious is that even the creator of the series doesn't share that same Gojo love. As quirky as Power may be, and as much as I love Hanja's brilliant mind, the winner should be Reigen of Mob Psycho 100. The cocky con artist goes through his own character evolution, much like the main character, and we learn throughout the series just how much more Reigen needs Mob than the other way around. In that final season, much of the big parts of the manga was already adapted, but Reigen definitely had a major realization here that cannot be understated, and for the sake of spoilers, I'm not mentioning it. He is such a great supporting character, one of the best in anime, and who could forget that hilarious final scene, which easily wraps up why Mob Psycho 100 just wouldn't be the same without him. Bella. There have been some great OPs this past year, but when one tops the Billboard charts, you have to respect that, and that's why Oshinoko's Idol will not only win Best Opening Sequence, but Best Song. It's indeed a great song, but personally I prefer Zom 100's Song of the Dead because it's just so much fun. You'll not only marvel at those fantastic visuals, but it'll make you start moonwalking too. The bright colors, catchy tunes, crazy characters doing their thing. You'll know an OP is good if you can't wait until the next episode starts just to listen to it one more time. Honorable mentions definitely go to the dark, mysterious vibes of Heavenly Delusion's Innocent Arrogance and the intriguing, catchy chords of Hell's Paradise's Work. And that's because they both do a great job at explaining the tone of their respective series while keeping you tapping your feet. I'm also going to say that Zom 100's EP, Happiness of the Dead, is just as much of a banger that should win Best Ending Sequence. But we all know Oshinoko's Mephisto is going to take home the crown there too. Here's another award for JJK because the visuals in Season 2 are just insane, and technically, the fall 2023 cutoff date means that the Shibuya Incident arc is not even being considered this year. It's awe-inspiring to watch such gorgeous animation, but when you learn that these artists and designers are being woefully underpaid for their work, it becomes truly infuriating. Despite all the JJK praise, there are plenty of strong contenders like Mappa's other two anime, Chainsaw Man and Hell's Paradise, and you have UFO Table's stylistically beautiful renderings of Demon Slayer. But I love the creative direction of Zom 100. The anime is the first for Studio Bug Films, and boy, what a beginning. The colors tell the story just as much as the characters, like how Akira feels before and after the zombie apocalypse starts, and it's just so refreshing to see a unique take on animation. Now, it may not be as crisp as some of the other nominees, but the bold choices of Zom 100 make it my choice for Best Art Direction, hands down. So, MAPPA gets 3 nominations. Now, if they don't win this award, well,
I will die.
Look, I'm not particularly thrilled with MAPPA's dominance, especially because other deserved honorables aren't being included here. However, Trigun Stampede, thankfully, is on this list. Studio Orange has been in the 3D anime game for quite a while, but most likely, you never even knew that until you watched Beastars and wondered, why is this animation so fantastic? Now, shameless plug, but I'm working on a video on the legacy of Orange because their story is quite fascinating, but until then, just know that this studio slowly but surely improved their anime in the 3D landscape, and this Trigun remake is the culmination. From Vash's interesting characterization to the various worlds they inhabit, everything is in 3D, and it looks sweet. I respect Orange's courage to stick with 3D anime, because it's a well-known fact that 3D anime has never reached a quality that us fans believe it can reach. There is always something that makes these shows look bad, and I'm sure that the detractors have come out in full force to stop the studio from attempting to create these kinds of anime over the years. But I can safely say that 3D anime has never looked as clean and as fantastic as Trigun Stampede. Vinland Saga's Thorfinn is by far one of the greatest characters in any anime, and this second season shows exactly why. Going from vengeful kid to an obedient shell of a person to a brave and strong leader, I love how this arc slowly but eloquently progresses his character. I truly believe if Thorfinn doesn't win this award, the anime community may very well be up in arms. But when you think about Hattori Goto from Bocchi the Rock, you might sing a little different tune. Bocchi is so unique, but you may be thinking, why is she unique? We see socially anxious characters in anime all the time, and while that is true, her expressive takes of singing a song in public or just thinking about asking a stranger a question is not something we see every day. The creativity behind what goes on in Bocchi's mind is something that relates to many weebs like us every day, and I think that is something that needs more recognition. Her evolution to becoming more sociable is a long and arduous one, but one that she takes on step by step. I think the relatability of it all is one that deserves the highest of honors, right up there with Thorfinn. I like Eren, but much of his progression has shown over the years, and if you want to tell me Luffy or Denji or anything other than somewhat generic characters, please let me know. I'm waiting.
I'm waiting.
This is probably one of the first categories where I don't feel super confident in who actually will win, but the continued popularity of Bocchi the Rock has been leaning towards the silly slice of life. Besides, this fun series puts a unique spin on the typical moe, which may not be exactly new, but it is refreshing. And this comes from a guy who could barely make it through a season of K-On! I have seen Mashle, and it's easily the funniest thing I've seen since One Punch Man. I enjoyed the heck out of this anime because irreverent and immature humor is what I eat for breakfast. Mashle did come out in the spring of 23, and Oshinoko took up all the oxygen at the time, but since then has steadily gotten more eyes on it, and for good reason. Having a needlessly OP main character isn't the only thing that makes Mashle a great comedy like One Punch Man, but the music is great. Like One Punch Man, Mashle has that kind of music that gets you so hyped, but in a different style, more hip-hop beats. And if you haven't seen the current season's OP, you're truly missing out. Vinland Saga Season 2 may have started slow, but the storytelling is masterclass and has always done an unbelievable job at building interesting characters and creating captivating moments. I have no enemies. That's why Vinland Saga will run away with the best drama category. Attack on Titan Part 3, Part 1, or Special 1, whatever, doesn't have much going on that hasn't already been established the previous season. Oshi no Ko has only 2 incredible episodes, and the other 11 are just boring nothing burgers. I haven't seen To Your Eternity, and My Happy Marriage is honestly just depressing. Heavenly Delusion, however, is a fantastic series that should win because it's an interesting and complex story. It does an excellent job at building suspense each and every episode. Kirikou and Maru embark on a journey to find heaven, but the path is filled with evil monsters and dangerous people, and what they experience is insane. The mystery behind this world is fascinating, and like other anime, that also arrived in spring of 2023, got completely overshadowed by Oshi no Ko. Heavenly Delusion won't beat Vinland Saga, but hopefully it wins Best New Series. Anime of the Year is the biggest prize of the night, and I think it's safe to say since the beginning, these awards have been given to the right show. JJK, Demon Slayer, Cyberpunk Edgerunners, just to name a few. This year, however, has some stiff competition, but I feel Vinland Saga has the best chance if I had to pick. However, I think Chainsaw Man should really win. The anime adaptation not only has just as good animation, if not better, but it's a show about the characters. I love the quirkiness of Denji and Power, and it's fun to see how they all interact with each other. The overall world of devils and the power system is intriguing enough to keep you wanting more, and as much as I enjoyed Vinland Saga, the first half of Season 2 is a slow burn. This may be more of a theoretical reason, but don't forget, this series has been nominated a whopping 25 times, and I haven't found many opportunities where Chainsaw Man would win, so I'm playing a little bit of game theory here. Also, I truly appreciate the courage to go super creative, like giving each episode their own EP, which some were definitely better than others, but you could tell this anime was well planned and taken with great care. Anime of the Year should go to Chainsaw Man. We all know the Crunchyroll Awards isn't perfect, but it does give the anime industry a chance to be recognized, and I'm genuinely glad they exist. But boy, do they really need some fine-tuning, and you might as well check that out while they're at it. So, what do you think is going to win this year? Is it going to be Chainsaw Man? Is it going to be JJK? Is it going to be something I haven't even said yet? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more of what I got, don't forget to subscribe by clicking that platypus here, or there, or there, or there, or there, or somewhere in the screen. And don't forget to have a great day, a great night, a great morning, wherever it is, wherever you are, and don't forget to stay nerdious.